sport and it's football, as a matter of fact. Yeah, okay, you may say we're guilty of that, but there's a match going on, a Nations Cup, and so we have to look at football. And Nnamdi Obanya joins us now. He's a journalist. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Good to be here.
Well, do we say up Eagles? Because, I mean, after that first match, you know, I was kind of part of those who thought, oh dear, wait a minute. Are we going to go beyond? Are we going to even win any match? And at that time, South Africa was fantastic shape. They won their first match coming from behind, and then the second one they drew. But Nigeria against South Africa, always.
It was a particularly pleasant result. I'm never really mean, but there was this perception that we will get routed by South Africa. The reason being that they have a very well organized league. More than 90% of the national team comes from that league.
And they played it on the first match.
Yeah, and that team that we played is the same team that played in the Nations Cup. They have the same squad. A lot of them week in, week out in the PSL. Their league is on. Those players are not match rusty. They are match fit.
They're in form.
They're in form. But it was that first match. I made a comment after the match. I said we're meant to win that match 1-0. The reason being that the 2 goals we considered, we should not have considered.
Which one? The one against
Mali. Against Mali. The first match. There's no reason why a goalkeeper should be beaten through his legs at his near post from an angle that a striker should not even have a chance. Those are meant to be routine saves or push the ball around the post.
But we see that happen time and again. I mean,
it's
not just in Nigeria.
It's happened twice in the same match. The goalkeeper flapped for every cross. Despite 1 or 2 saves he made yesterday, I have to say Agbim is still a weak link. And my reason is simple. When the defense doesn't have confidence in the goalkeeper, it makes them very, very reserved, and they don't really want to go out like that. And you know, Nigerian style of football, we always have our defense line sitting practically on the midfield. Our wing-backs are practically playing as our wingers. When Nigerians push forward, they push forward because we don't really make off-the-ball runs. So there's a lot of players in the opposition have taking and receiving passes till it gets to the final person. But we were stretched thin. So notice even when we attack, you maybe have only Bola Salami, Ede, and possibly Ezonye in the opposing half. You have everybody else sitting a bit deep because there's this worry that we get caught on the counter. That's what happened against Mali.
But some say he's a kind of rise and shine kind of keeper. I mean, he's on today, tomorrow.
Jekyll and Hyde.
You don't know what happens.
Jekyll and Hyde is the perfect term for him. But
look at that. He kept us in this game.
This is the point. He's not the worst of goalkeepers. He's not the worst of goalkeepers. I mean, Ikesho Rimo, who is there in charge of our goalkeeping, is not a novice by any standards. He wouldn't pick someone who's terrible. But the truth is, he, like Mba, had the issue with the whole club saga. Warriors won't release, Rangers won't take forward and backwards. He hasn't played football for a good year. He's been on the sidelines. You don't need any specialist to tell you that he's really overweight. We saw in a soccer match against Mozambique where he tried to rush at an opposition attacker and just went flat on the floor, and that was how Mozambique got their second.
Wasn't that just he didn't get his footwork right? Is he as big as the Malian keeper? And
there's body proportion. When you're tall and big, it's understood that you're this size, but he's not the tallest goalkeepers, and he's a bit too pudgy for a goalkeeper of that height. He doesn't even look very quick. Yes, he's agile. You saw that from the save. He left the ground on time. But a lot of the shots South Africa took, and I'm going to say this, it wasn't about how good Nigeria are. It's about how not good South Africa were. Because the truth is, their league might have fantastic marketing, fantastic PR, but push Abalala from that team. There's really no quality player and that European clubs will rush to buy. If they are that good, why are all of them still in the PSL?
What about Nigeria? I mean, yes, they're not. They don't play as much as well as Nigerians expect, but we should give them some kudos as well. Because look, just before the Nations Cup started, Keshi said, "Look, I don't have a team yet. I just have a group of boys running around. I'm trying to get a team, and within that short space of time, look at the results we have."
The truth of the matter is this: the first match he said stage fright, and we're like, "What does he mean stage fright?" But after that match, I didn't think it was stage fright. I just thought it was, like I said, Agbim not letting the team go all out.
And he's the captain.
He's the captain. The second match, when they went to go down, came back, go down, took the lead, a goal again. I think it just that nothing to lose came in, and they went all out like Nigerian football. They didn't really give a damn. And after they won 4-2, we're like, okay, we shouldn't really be scared. The mentality now changed. If you score us, we'll score you more. And unfortunately, South Africa can't really score. That's what happened. So we got into the match.
They got the goods against Mozambique.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That match changed everything. Because when it was like, look, we have to go out and try and score. They went out, they did score, and the confidence came back. You know, I've been particularly impressed with Ede's movement up front. It's created a lot of worry because Bola Salami has had his issues, you know, from misbehaving at clubs to being kicked out, but he's trying to rebuild himself. My only fear is the selections. Like I always thought Femi Thomas of Enyimba would be our first choice keeper. He had a fantastic season. Enyimba considered what in the whole league, I think 19 goals. The closest is 32 to that. They had the most fantastic defense, but you have only one member of that defense in a national setup. Zango, who comes off the bench, is Kano Pillars' contribution to our midfield. And if you watch Kano Pillars, a very, very intimidating midfield. This is not the best selection I feel we could have been made. Of course, there's the rumors that a lot of players are there because people have interest in selling them to European clubs. I would not join that debate. I'll leave Nigerians to decide on their own. But the truth is, there's still better players we could have picked. I think Enyimba deserves to contribute more to that defense. I don't think we have enough of the best defenders we have in the country.
But let's look at the keeping department now.
Yes.
We've got Agbim there. Alan Pasu is there.
Agbim is there. No. Femi Thomas.
Are we looking forward
is who I thought should have been there.
But Femi is not there.
He's not there. He's not even in the squad. That's why choices like that are what make people say things like they are vested interests. Are we selling players?
If anything happens to Agbim like it did South Africa, shouldn't we be, or will we be confident to have Alan Pasu take over?
Yes. The reason being that he might not be there yet. He might be inexperienced. But like I always say, which is what I've been saying about the same thing about local coaches, if you don't put them in the firing line, in the spotlight, you'll never develop them. Sooner or later we have to. He hasn't had a bad showing. He needs to take the next step. I'd rather even have had him than Agbim, because Agbim was not conceding the most difficult of goals. I mean, a free kick from the middle that floated all the way, that you saw coming for at least 2-3 seconds as a goalkeeper, came about 50 yards at you and you were looking at it and you still missed it. You couldn't rush out on time. A 50-50 you could have reached first because you're the goalkeeper. You flopped before you got to the ball. You get beaten at your near post twice in the same match through your legs.
Does it mean we don't give him any margin of error?
This is not a margin of error. What we have is a margin of good saves. The margin here is the good saves he makes. That's what's marginal. The majority of his action has been woeful. Against South Africa, I think what happened was when Nigeria dominated the match, it built everybody's confidence. You know, and maybe that affected him too.
But we have a good bench, don't we? I mean, Nega comes in and gets a goal.
If you take out Imenga, you take out Zango, our bench is not very, very deep. That's why we've been bringing on the same guys in every match. It's Imenga or Zango. Okay, yes, and what time we take off? Imagine we took off a banner who is we take off a defender, we bring on a midfielder, we take off a striker, we bring on a midfielder, we take off a midfielder, bring on a striker. It's been either Barnabas, Imenga Jr. or Zango.
Maybe he's got a joker up his chest like Westerhoff did in '94.
He probably has. Right now, Keshi has been full of so many surprises. I'm really happy that this is one time I backed a local coach.
And this is our first time in this championship.
It's our first time. It's our debut. And the reasons are not far-fetched. It nearly happened to us again. Just before the tournament, Iheanacho went to Man City. Mba went to CA Bastia, a club getting ready to be relegated to the 3rd division in France just to play European football. You know, had he stayed a little longer, ignored that deal, played this CHAN tournament, would have had a fantastic outing, could have got a better offer. He didn't need to rush. But that's what happened to Nigeria. At this time, everybody's looking for European clubs. They are rushing for any deal in the January transfer window. And so Nigeria doesn't qualify because our best hands in the league move all out at once to all sorts of backwaters in Europe. Whereas you have people like South Africa, they keep their squad together. Everybody has been talking about South Africa, their league. And I think that the real people we should be worried about, my tip for the tournament, is actually Congo Democratic Republic. It's built up of players from TP Mazembe. And we've seen their exploits even at the World Club Cup. It's not the weakest team. Right. So this focus on, and then we have the North Africans. They don't win the Nations Cup because of
that was interesting, because that was the same thing that happened to Nigeria in this Nations Cup, where we eventually turned bookmakers, and we hope that will happen again this time. Only hope, actually. Thank you for coming on, Nnamdi Obanya, sports journalist.